Welcome to Who You Were with Patrick Noth and Sebastian Canelli. In each episode, we ask our guests to talk about a time in their life when they were significantly different. Episode 14, Aaron Jackson.
Did you think about something?
Yeah, I think I mean, it's not. I'm sure I can find something interesting about it. But I don't find myself inherently interesting, I guess.
Sure. I mean, who does?
Right.
A fucking psychopath.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess I do. I've literally done nothing with my life, and I go, oh, wow, I got a story to tell.
I'm incredible.
And I literally lived with my mother for most of my life.
Well, that's something, yeah.
I guess, is it? Oh, what was that, Grey Garden shit? I never saw it, but I saw the picture.
No, you got it.
That's the point. It's a crazy mother with a daughter, and it goes, oh, they're too much.
Yeah.
You called your mom crazy, but she doesn't listen to this because the first episode you talked about getting head, and she never.
I think that's safe. I don't like my parents to watch any of my comedy, and they come and they like it, and I'm like, but I don't like it.
It's uncomfortable.
Did they see Identical Twins?
No, my mom.
Thank God.
My mom really wanted to, but I told her not to.
Sure.
She was in town one time during it. And I was like, don't go.
Good. It's so funny, but not.
Josh's dad came,
funny.
though, and then he was like, I want him to see it. And then before we did it, he was like, I'm so nervous. And his dad was in the front row.
His dad is famously cool, though.
Yeah, but my parents are cool, but that doesn't mean I want them to come. Right. I'm like, don't come to this.
Sure, but his dad's always going to, like, concerts with him and shit like that.
Yeah, but my parents go to concerts.
Oh, really?
And my parents liked Harold Night,
but
you know?
Did they?
Yeah, they thought it was cool, but I'm like,
but his parents are cool and yours suck.
Right, that's what I think he just like maybe gets more pleasure from him like than I get from mine being there. Like
Sure.
I don't need them to be there to feel supported.
Right.
Yeah. and Josh is looking for his dad's approval.
He needs it. He needs it.
That's what we're getting
so sad.
I think we established that up top.
So sad.
Yeah. My parents never came to a single show.
Yeah, right.
They'd never see me perform.
Right. Yeah,
Really?
I knew that about you.
Yeah, they never see me perform.
Why not?
I don't invite them. And they don't want to come. I don't want them to come.
Yeah.
They don't think I'm funny. They think
I'm sad.
Yeah, they do. I'll say they do. My dad, this is famously, my dad, when I started doing comedy, I was like joking about my dick, and he goes, Sebastian, come here. He goes, come here. He pulls me over. We're at like a restaurant. I think we're at Charlie Brown's, the steakhouse with the salad buffet.
Charlie Brown.
You never been?
No.
Oh, dude.
Is that on Staten Island?
Yeah, dude, I'm a chain restaurant king.
I never even heard of that chain.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's like Outback with no Australian parts.
Everything you hate about Outback.
Yeah, if you want Outback in America, this is what it's Charlie Brown's. And my dad goes, come here. He goes, why are you joking about your dick? He goes, nobody knows what your dick is. Why don't you joke that you got the biggest dick in the world?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. He goes, for all they know, you got the biggest dick in New York.
In New York.
Wait,
But he didn't say dick. He goes, you got the biggest brajol. That's what he called my penis my whole life. He goes, hey, Sebastian, how's your brajol? Which is just an Italian pork roll.
Is it?
Right.
How is
it? How's it doing?
How's your brajol?
I don't know. I feel like you just hit like a point where you don't worry about it for a while.
Right.
Wait, when did he hear you joking about your dick?
At Charlie Brown's.
Yeah, I guess I was joking about my dick out to dinner with my grandparents.
Anyway,
wait.
Call it bigger.
Yeah, you want to
note.
That's like how you start your stand-up routine. I got a big dick.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm hung as a fucking horse. Hello, I read tons of books. Yeah, I first say that, then I go, hello. I say it as I'm walking up to the stage. Watch out, big dick Sebastian coming through.
That's your
Swinging
stand-up.
like a grandfather clock.
Hung like a grandfather. I just knocked the microphone.
Yeah, that's why you touched it, dude.
I guess I did.
This is good.
Oh boy.
We'll just be quiet during this part. I'll take a fat sip of this coffee. I didn't eat
Oh,
anything.
it looks like soda. I guess because
I love soda, and you know what? Liking soda, I feel like is illegal.
It's tacky now.
It is
to
tacky.
like soda.
Yeah.
But
At least on the coasts.
yes,
You know?
it is tacky.
Yeah.
So I feel embarrassed, but I'm a soda freak.
I don't drink it that much anymore, except at the movie theater. I always give me a big fat soda.
Fountain
At the
soda?
movies,
Oh,
yeah,
my
at
God.
the movies.
I love. You ever do? I'm not gonna talk about soda.
You ever?
Sometimes you gotta edit yourself.
You ever stick your Brajol in a fucking Diet Coke?
Oh, mwah.
Nobody cares about my thoughts on fucking Coke Zero.
Somebody does.
You know,
Somebody.
I'll tell you that.
I will tell you this. Though.
This is a podcast where I just talk about whatever I want, and I make you listen to me. When I was at the wine country, whatever it's called,
Does it?
we were at a vineyard, and we're there, and I was like, "Damn!" I go. Imagine if this was a Coke Zero taste.
That is
Then I would have been
insane.
fucking fire. I would have that would have been my dream, to just taste different types of Coke Zeros.
Well, how are there? Isn't Coke Zero it's just type?
No, there's-
they have flavors.
There's cherry,
I see.
vanilla.
I see.
You mean from the machine, like the machine where you can select it? Or
Hell yeah.
But if they had like a soda sommelier,
Yes,
it'd
and
be
it was
like,
in the same
region of California?
Yes, it was still a beautiful
Gorgeous.
place, but you're drinking this fucking white trash bullshit.
instead of you're not looking out over the vineyard, you're looking out over a factory.
Yeah. Oh, that would be beautiful.
Beautiful factory.
And you wear a collared shirt to go.
Swill it around in your mouth. They're like, don't swallow all of it.
I'm gonna spit it out.
All right.
Eat some ginger in between.
Start the podcast,
okay.
Patrick. Come on.
Welcome to Who You Were.
The dude usually wants to start as soon as we, but now, come
Well,
on.
no, I'm scared to start now because you can make fun of me every time I start. You're gonna fucking start now. Like I'm always bad at it.
No,
according
come
to
on,
you.
dude. Let's start. Let's not judge ourselves. Come on, let's start this shit. What are we doing? I'm sweating dick already. My brajol's fucking dripping. I put on a sweatshirt. I
There's
came
no
in
way.
here and I put on a I could start the podcast. I'm on bad behavior today.
I love it. Welcome to Who You Were. My name's Patrick Noth.
Hey, I'm Sebastian Canelli.
This is the podcast.
Yeah, hello. It's me, believe it or not.
All right,
All right, come on.
This is a podcast where we bring on comedians. We ask them about a time in their life when they were significantly different. We're very excited to have on the show Aaron Jackson.
Hello.
Yes. He was on the show The Opposition. You've probably seen him at UCB, What I Did for Love, Fucking Identical Twins, which was an amazing sketch show.
Wow.
Probably
at
the best I've
theater.
seen at the theater.
Yeah, standing ovation the first time you did it.
Dang.
Yeah, I was there. You didn't see me, my big ass hiding in the corner.
Sit down.
I go, not worth it. Not worth my calories. You remember that guy screaming that?
Yeah, I do.
The newsie in the back corner.
Like, this is a very positive experience, except for that newsie.
He loved it, but it was just not worth
Yeah,
his
yeah.
calories.
No, it wasn't. I'm always thinking about, I have no calories to spare.
Right. At standing ovations, I think at all plays, you just have to give a standing ovation now, even if it was terrible.
Sure.
But I like it because I'm very tall and the theater's always, I'm like, I'll stand up for
Yes.
anything. And I'm like, this I didn't like, but I'm on my feet clapping. I was like, oh, it feels good for
Sure.
my legs.
I just started doing musical improv, and you get a standing ovation every
Yeah,
time you
people
do
love it.
It's amazing.
Really?
People love
Yeah,
it.
You
every
do?
time.
Oh, yeah, you were in Rumpelteazer.
In Rumpelteazer,
We will turn you gay. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't list everything.
It's exhausting.
He does a lot. He's
Remember
so
these
funny.
improv teams? It's
Yeah.
exhausting. It's too many.
So we want to ask you about a time in your life,
Yes.
but we like to get some context out. Like, how old were you at this time?
How old was I this time? I was gonna say I'll say, but this is how old I was.
You can make honestly, the whole podcast is bullshit. So you can say whatever fuck you want.
Yeah.
This whole thing is bullshit. We got 12 listeners. They all suck.
We've had people come on and make up that they were an astronaut. It's fine.
It doesn't matter.
Before this, I was an astronaut. No, I was 23. I'm gonna do right when I'm 22, 23.
When you moved to the city?
I moved to New York.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where'd you move from?
Moved from Boston.
Is that where you grew up?
No, but that's where I went to college.
Where'd you go to school?
It's called the Boston Conservatory. Boston Conservatory.
That's a music place.
Yeah, music, dance, and theater.
And you went for theater?
For theater.
Wow.
How long of a program?
That's a
is it?
good school.
It's a good school.
I know that. I've heard of this school, and if I heard of the musical theater school, that has to be something.
Yeah, it's one of those that has a lot of what is it?
Alumni?
Success rate for alumni to be on Broadway.
Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about
Well,
here?
I mean, you maybe wouldn't know who they were because they're.
Sebastian and I are huge
I was
Broadway.
almost going to say just Broadway, which is not what I meant. But Broadway stars don't necessarily, or working Broadway actors don't necessarily have a lot of name recognition.
Yes, yes.
The way that a movie or television
I know, isn't it?
star does.
But you know
it's
what?
because it's site specific. You have to be there.
Yeah, they're celebrities here.
Exactly.
You know, and that's a beautiful life.
I think that's the way to do it.
I know.
Where some people think you are the most famous person, and then you can walk 5 blocks away and no one knows who the fuck
Yeah.
you
Oh,
are.
I know, you're surrounded by a mob.
Yeah.
And then nobody cares about you.
It's great. You can still go out to eat.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be horrible to just get harassed everywhere you go.
It'd be crazy.
One time I saw Kiefer Sutherland in Midtown. I chased him.
With a gun, I chased him.
I chased him with a clock that was ticking. I go, remember this, you scumbag!
You fucking freak!
You fucking piece of shit!
Remember this.
Just with a fucking huge ass clock. Just a fucking digital clock, that fucking shitbag. I go, remember this, you fuck boy? And he said, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Security.
Where are you from originally
Please
before
dispatch this
you went
man.
to school?
I grew up in Texas, in Fort Worth, suburbs of Fort Worth, and then we also lived in Colorado when I was in high school for those 4 years.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I love Colorado.
Yeah, where?
In the suburbs of Denver called Littleton, which
Of course.
very famous for the Columbine shooting.
Of course,
Columbine.
Oh my God! Thank
Used
God!
to-
Finally, Columbine was
What is so sad is that used to I'd say Littleton forever, and people were like, "Oh," but now there's been so many mass shootings, like people don't remember.
People forget.
You're like, "Oh yeah, sure, Littleton." I mean, that
How
was
old were
1,000
you?
shootings ago. Columbine happened in '99, so I was in 8th grade, still in Texas, and then moved there that summer.
So your parents were like, "Let's go to that town."
Yeah,
Wow, they must have got a good deal on the house.
and what's so funny is we already knew we were moving, and I went to a school called Chatfield, which is the school that the Columbine kids went to while they were like fixing up. Columbine is very close to Columbine, but my mom went to Columbine.
You said fixing up Columbine,
You know,
like planning it.
But like patching the bullet holes in the library,
Oh my God!
like fixing her back.
Michael Moore for life.
Yeah. But my mom went to all those local schools because we knew we were living in that neighborhood, and she went to Columbine, and she didn't like it because it didn't have a good theater program, and me and my sister were into theater, so she knew. But then my grandmother, after the shooting, would tell like Nancy walked into Columbine and felt an evil presence.
Oh my
She
God!
just made it up. She was like, she made up a story.
Fully like grandmother. Nancy walked in covered in chills. She knew something terrible. And it's like they just didn't do good plays.
So funny.
Such a grandmother.
That's such a grandma. My daughter's so special. She feels
She
things
knew.
before it happens.
She knew something negative would occur there.
Oh, no, we shouldn't go to that restaurant.
Yeah.
Nancy, how do you feel about this? Florida? Do you Florida for vacation or California? What are you feeling? One, people are gonna die.
People will die. We can't go.
That's wild.
But I love that.
Sure.
I love thinking of my mom as a school shooting predictor.
Oh my God.
Because the kid didn't know what plays they were doing that year. That was giving her the tour.
Sure.
There's going to be a shooting here. It's guys and dolls.
Oh God. Okay, so what's the crux of like what you want to talk about? How are you different?
Well, I mean, we've been bringing up theater a lot already.
Sure.
But so I was a theater kid, and when I moved to New York, I was that's like where my goals were, and sort of my my life was centered around that. And so I guess that's
Musical theater.
musical theater and straight plays.
Sure.
I wanted to do those too.
Really? What type of musical theater person were you?
So I thought I was a big musical theater nerd in high school, but then when you go to a musical theater conservatory, everyone is like way more than you. You know, they're like, "Do you know who Karen Ziemba is?" And you're like, "What?" And you're like, and I thought I was, so I would, and I always liked the more less like tap dancey song and dance shows, even though I do like those. I just could never
Thoroughly
be
modern Millie.
Yeah. Like I was not good at those, you know, and I'm not very good at was never very good at being, and still am not.
Sebastian, name another Broadway show besides Thoroughly Modern Millie.
That's a good one.
I can name a ton. I saw a Broadway show every year, and I was been in probably like 20 musicals.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So eat my ass, bro. Look at him chomping on his gum.
Oh, yeah.
That smug piece of
You
shit.
fucking always yell at me about that. I keep
Yes,
forgetting.
because it's the one thing we can't do on a podcast is chew gum. You're
We
not
should
even
chew our ice.
I know.
later.
Yeah. What? Yeah. I'm gonna open a bunch of Christmas gifts right here.
Who took you to a Broadway show every year?
My parents. It used to be cheap. Broadway shows.
Yeah,
used to be
it wasn't
cheap.
until The Producers, which was like a big smash hit. That was the first Broadway show that was over $100 for
Wow.
a ticket, and
Nathan
that was
Lane
in
changed the game.
Nathan Lane. And that was 2001. I mean,
Yeah.
which I guess is 20 fucking years ago now. But that is like, that's crazy to think. Now any orchestra seat is over $100
We
unless
used to get those
they're in
like
trouble.
stubs, like the things
Yeah.
they used to keep them out in schools. You could get tickets for $20
Right.
to any show.
And even when I first moved here, I mean, I guess they still do Student Rush, but you could see a show if you did Student Rush for $26, $25, which I just feel like even Rush now is $40.
Yeah.
But when you're 22 with no money,
Yeah.
$25.
You need that.
Yeah. And that back then, and movies are $16 now, right?
Yes.
But they used to, back then, we're still like 12. And that was a lot too. So if you're like, well, I could pay basically just double that and see a Broadway show.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
You
yeah.
know, and so I would do that
wild.
sometimes.
And now it's like a minimum, what? What are we talking about?
Well, to sit in the orchestra, I think most shows are $120. But then if they're like a Hamilton or when Bette Midler was in Hello Dolly, that's like $600.
Yeah.
To sit in the orchestra. And then the cheap tickets up in like the mezzanine would be like $200 for something like Hamilton, which is like nothing is that good.
No.
No offense to Hamilton.
Did you see it?
I loved
I
it.
did.
though.
It was great. It was great.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it at the Public and on Broadway. Woo!
Dang.
Brag.
Oh,
That's
gee.
For free both times. Oh my God, I'm going to have to edit this part.
Ouch! Really?
Yeah.
Did you win a contest?
Yeah, I won a contest. No,
Big at KTU, this dude. They love him at KTU, this scumbag. He
I
calls
call
every
fucking
day.
I can't even talk about
You knew
how-
somebody. You
I'm
got
literally
to
going to have to cut this out.
He knows Lynn.
He knows Lynn.
I'm gonna have to cut this out.
No, go ahead. Tell everybody
My
how you know
beatboxer,
Lynn.
my beatboxer for at
Oh,
the time,
right.
Shockwave
Yeah,
was
Shockwave.
Lynn's beatboxer, and so Shockwave
Yeah.
was like, "You want to come to Hamilton at the Public with me?" And I
Yeah.
hadn't even heard of the show at that point, so I
Right.
was like completely blown away. And also, there were a lot of there was a lot more deep cut hip hop references in the show when it was at the Public. So like, it was cool to see what he cut,
What
and what he
changed.
added. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
That's cool.
So you're basically a producer.
I produced.
You won a
Hamilton.
Tony.
When I was at the Public. I won a Tony
For watching.
for watching. it.
Best audience member.
Lucy Liu was there.
Lucy.
Lucy
Wow.
Liu. I'm sure there was someone famous in the audience when I saw it, but I didn't notice.
Oh,
But
Denzel Washington was there when I saw it on Broadway, and
Wow.
and we were on stage and Aziz was there too. And I was like, Emily, I want to go
Please
tell
don't
Aziz.
bring him up on the podcast.
I was like, Emily, I want to go tell Aziz that I'm on Herald Night, and she was like, don't do that. I literally have to cut all of this out. I sound like
No, it's
I'm a
fascinating.
fucking maniac.
No, it wasn't that. It's funny as shit. Honestly, who cares? We're fucking shitting into the computers right
Every
now.
episode, the past 4 episodes, he's like, nobody's fucking listening to this.
I'm so sorry that we make someone
you're
take their
here.
time. Yeah, I'm so sorry that. Good that you came. I'm so sorry I came.
I'd rather be doing anything else.
You know, I'd rather be shitting in my own bed. Just shitting in my bed and watching a TV that says it can't connect to the internet.
than doing this. I'd be in medical distress.
No. I just mean it. I think that we worry about what we say, but I always try to say it
really
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
It doesn't matter until we're arrested.
Sure. And then it's
But
bad.
that's years away.
So you weren't in a comedy at all?
No, I mean, I was never the comedy, because we're all UCB folks, and you'd be taking those classes, and people would be like, "Do you remember that third and a half episode of Mr. Show, and I was like, I do not. And I watched a bunch of old SNL tapes. Like I had a lot of the best of Gilda Radner and best of 1976 or whatever. But I wasn't a comedy nerd.
Were you Sebastian?
No.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
I liked Chris Farley, and I liked...
I liked comedy.
I was basic. My comedy taste was mainstream and basic, and I honestly still think to some degree it is.
Yeah.
Live comedy's different, but like...
Yes.
I went to the movie, I saw Smallfoot last night, because I'm a fucking child, and I laughed my ass off.
Smallfoot. This is the movie.
What is Smallfoot?
It's about Bigfoot finding a human.
Yes, and so big feet people... Let me tell you about this. Bigfoot people, basically... They can't, they don't believe in little people.
You're pitching Smallfoot.
Let me get you. I want to get butts in the seat.
You got it. Smallfoot.
They basically, these Bigfoot people don't believe in small people.
It's like the opposite.
Yes, it's the opposite. They flipped it on its head, and it blew my mind.
Is this a sequel? Is this like an Ice Age where
No.
there's been... This is
original.
So it's about to be a
Do
sequel.
they live on Earth?
Yeah.
They're in the mountains. They're in like Nepal.
Yeah. Himalayan area. It's but when they go to the village, it's weird because it's everything is like Asian. I don't know what type.
Well,
of
it is. The Himalayas are in Asia.
Yeah, but then all the people are white.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So it's all
that's systemic.
Yeah. So it's all this. It's all these Asian signs, and it's not clear which Asian sign it is either.
It's unclear.
It's unclear. Well,
which Asian?
Actually, probably if it's Chinese, the Chinese person knows.
Yeah.
Probably it's just unclear to me.
But I do love that whoever made that call to make them white was like, kids, white kids, they won't relate to this Bigfoot monster movie. The guy's an Asian.
Asians' feet are not actually big.
Yeah. It's so good.
Oh shit. Okay, so what's the crux of why you want to
Wait, I want to know what play. I want to know who you were in plays. So you said you didn't like.
Oh right,
yeah.
There was a question a while ago.
Yes.
So while I enjoy watching those kind of big splashy tap dancing numbers, that's where we were. I was always in more of the either actor, just a character actor, basically a comedian that didn't know they were a comedian yet. But
what
was
are some parts that you played? Yeah.
In the show Wonderful Town, I was this guy who was comic relief, even though that is a comedy. Do you know what I mean? And then in high school, I was Bottom in A Midsummer Night's Dream, the comic relief.
Yeah.
Right.
The drama I did in college was called Red Light Winter, which is by Adam Rapp. I want to say. Oh no, wait, that is not right. Adam Rapp is an actor.
You should be so embarrassed.
This is bad. Truly, this is bad. Anyway,
do you like to do drama now?
I haven't done. That was probably the last even play I did. Yep. Unless it was like a play. I'm putting play in air quotes that we all wrote for. Whatever.
The play you did where you're in the wheelchair.
The fucking Identical Twins? Is that
no.
Because I was in a wheelchair.
No, it was another one where it was like a murder mystery.
Oh yeah, that Ryan Williams and Georgia Clark.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That felt like a play a little bit.
Yeah, that was a play, but it's like a comedy.
Yes,
it's
definitely.
not maybe necessarily.
I remember that. I think I was in the original cast. I think I got cut.
Damn, that hurts.
No, I don't know what happened.
It was a lot. You were in Dreamboat, right?
Yeah.
It was a lot of
Dreamboat.
a lot of Dreamboat folks.
Zach Willis was in it.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I got cut. I just made that up because I was going to try to make a joke out of that. But then the way you guys reacted, it wouldn't have worked.
What did you need from us?
Nothing.
What did you need? Go ahead, we'll take it
It
back.
was your fault that the joke didn't land.
Well, yeah, please.
I'm absolutely not going to take it back.
You came at us with this amazingly funny idea that you got cut from a play that Aaron is just talking about.
Okay, all right.
No, let me know what you need next time. Hit me on the arm. Twice to be shocked, once to be sad.
The other day, 2 episodes ago, Sebastian goes, I'm killing it. You haven't made a fucking joke this whole time.
Hey, you know what? I guess I was right.
I was right. But about plays, I guess it was I liked quirkier, weirder plays, playing comic parts. But plays I liked would be, that I wasn't in would be Cabaret or Little Shop of Horrors, like the
Love Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, I love it too.
And who would you want to be?
Well, once upon a time, I probably would have wanted to be Seymour, but they would have made me that dentist. Because it's funny.
Yeah. Right.
Funny and funny. They always wanted me to be funny. And I like being funny.
Can you sing? Could you like hold that notes that long?
I could hold...
You know what I'm talking about. It actually took you by surprise that I referenced such a specific part of...
Could you hold the notes that long?
Which part of the dentist?
No, it is a funny question to answer.
That dentist has to hold that note.
That's like when a mom or grandma's like, how'd you memorize all those lines after they see it?
No, it's a long note. Could you
do the lines too?
That's unbelievable.
Could you put on the costume?
Did someone put it on for you, or you put it on yourself? That's incredible. I can sing. The school I was at is a music theater dance school, but when I was there, it was like only musical theater. So you did have to audition to get in and sing. And I can't. Okay. And I used to be like in Texas, a choir kid. So I did a lot of. I sang my whole life, and pretty much until I moved to New York and then stopped singing. But I could have held the notes.
But you wanted to.
Thank you for answering that hard-hitting question.
This was a time where you were pursuing it, though. Like,
yeah.
And your sister's a singer as well, right?
Yes, that's true. Yes.
So you guys have
Amy Jo Jackson.
Yes, very incredibly talented.
Cool name.
Yeah, she can sing.
How did you guys get into theater? I'm going to totally not do this show.
Whatever.
How'd you guys get into it in Texas?
Amy got into it first in like a children's community theater thing that would do, oh my God. And then I joined this like 2 years later. But the reason I went, oh my God, is because we would always do a musical in the summer. Around the holidays, would do like a Christmassy kind of like silly little play. And then... in like the fall or end of summer, there was the Texas State Fair, and would do like just a number.
Oh my God!
What was one of them?
So bad. Well, we did. It was just like always like a medley. So the one year I did it was like hand jive from Grease.
Oh yeah.
But then also in that medley was a song from Phantom of the Opera where it's like. All I ask is every waking moment, and it's a duet between a man and a woman. So they had a girl singing the woman's part, and then they had 4 of us boys singing the men's part. And I'm trying to think about why, because usually there are obviously more girls than boys do it. So usually that's like we cast a lot of girls to every boy because it's like we'll give the girls a chance to do something. I don't know why 4 of us boys were singing and
I
one.
have an idea.
2 of them were bad.
No, not one could handle it by themselves.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Maybe.
I hate to sound like
no.
That has to be, all right?
But
isn't that like isn't that one of the parts on Broadway? It's like Phantom, Jean Valjean, and
it's a big part. But we didn't do all of Phantom. We sang one
from between booty doo boo doo boo doo boo.
Sebastian was just doing the hand jive and singing
rock and rock.
We rock tweedly
but so we got in through that like community theater thing, and then I did just school plays after that.
And at this time you were pursuing Broadway specifically.
Yeah, I think there is like a big world of regional acting out there, but I was had very limited awareness even through going through this program that is specific. That's a read on the program. They should have taught us that about the regional theaters. But I was more, I would say I was kind of Broadway or bust. Like I wanted to be on Broadway.
One time I did an on-camera class. I'm a monster. One time I did an on-camera class.
With Lynn?
With Lynn.
Oh, my God.
And there were a bunch of musical people who had recently graduated from like a program like that. And it was like an on-camera class, and they all they talked so incredibly loud. Like, inappropriately loud.
I still do. I blow out every microphone, every shoot I'm ever on. They're like, you're too loud.
Really?
I'm so sorry. Because I'm a screamer.
Sure,
and almost everything I get, they're like, and now can you go ahead and scream? Like, do you really want me to scream? Because it's loud. But they're always like, okay, you're popping your levels.
I feel like you can step out in an improv scene and scream. I think like that's it's like literally one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Screaming.
Yeah.
Anything
that's funny.
Thank you.
Not everyone could just scream. That's a
should
beautiful
try.
thing. No, they're gonna sound. Some people sound scared. Some people are gonna sound stupid. You sound funny.
Some people are. It's scared, stupid,
or funny. That's what. And thank God you land in the third category.
You don't want to be scared or stupid.
Yeah, because if Pat brought that up and you were stupid, I would have been like, so, what type of shoes did you wear at the time?
What type of shoes?
So
when you scream, you're scared. Let me bring that up. You know, oftentimes you get on stage, you scream, and you seem very scared.
You seem terrified.
How's that going? Yeah, and in school we did one on-camera thing, and it was in Boston. It was so lame. Looking back on it, it was like a Boston casting director, which no shame in that, but it was for commercials. So it's like Boston commercial casting director. It's like that is a niche little market, and people had to go up and kind of read about cheese. I remember it was like a cheese commercial, and then she was giving notes, and it was like, that is so lame and all of it wrong. You know, like looking back, like that didn't help at all.
A local Boston cheese company commercial.
Like, so, yeah, exactly. It's like, this couldn't be.
Do people in Boston
sad.
really need more incentive to buy cheese?
Are we worried about the cheese market in Boston? Maybe it's a cheesemaker trying to break into to that.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, that's a good point. Some stuff I'm going to pump a fight. Some stuff I'm going to just wash
That's
over
what you're going
me.
to learn about me.
Wash over me like a big wave. Take me to the shore and get back to the point of the podcast. No, I got a question.
Okay, great.
So when you came to New York, what'd you think was going to happen?
I think everybody.
You came with other people?
Well, most of my school, my theater, most people moved to New York because most people wanted to do Broadway, and Boston is so close to New York. I don't think anybody moved to LA. Now people live in LA, but like it was like. Or you could move to Chicago because there's a big theater scene there. But we were 4 hours away driving from New York, so everybody just moves to New York. I think everybody sort of thinks, like, oh, it's really hard, and not everyone makes it, but I will. So I think
You have to be delusional.
Yeah, and I think still now, even I mean, I've moved from one type of entertainment to another, and still you're like, I could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know though, because I look at people like you or Sebastian as just being undeniable, and I'm like, they're gonna be.
I make every episode. I make them compliment me a couple of times.
Call me undeniable.
I have to use the word undeniable.
Undeniable. That's the only way I do it.
Ding, ding.
But no, seriously,
I get iced coffee. I get to take a fucking fat shit after the podcast.
I don't think. I mean, I know
That's
that you wouldn't want to
undeniable.
say this out loud, but I don't think it would be delusional for either of you to in the back of your head somewhere be like, I'm going to work.
Damn. Work. That's very nice,
That's nice
Patrick.
of you, Patrick.
And you need a lot of work, but you'll get there.
Yeah, once you stop getting cut out of plays and shit, or at least making jokes about that shit, maybe we'll talk.
It wasn't the joke. It wasn't the joke yet.
No, wait, are your parents... Well, you have a lot of
People in
entertainment industry siblings.
Yeah.
Yes.
But so your parents aren't ever calling you and being like, wait, Lynn? Why don't you call Lynn? Maybe you could be in Hamilton. Are they like that at all?
Not really.
Yeah, they're pretty hip to it.
I don't know. I don't think that they know. I think my dad is very much like he's enamored with stardom. Like he used to interview. He was an entertainment critic growing up, so he loves the business, and he loves like celebrity, and he loves to talk about like any success that we have. Like if someone is in something and we don't tell him about it, he'll like email us. You didn't tell me you were in that whatever above average sketch.
Like, I forgot.
Yeah,
That's nice.
we usually shit on above average pretty bad on this podcast.
Not me. I'm still there, dude.
I bleed above average.
I need that. I'm waiting for a T-shirt. I'm waiting for them to make a double X T-shirt.
Wait, are they done?
I don't know.
So many of them are done.
The kicker's still alive, so you could do a 60-second straight to camera.
Oh my God.
I can't. No, please. I actually would. I need $100.
Oh, I know, seriously. I would take out everything.
I've
Is Go 90 still happening?
No, Go 90's dead, and they took off all their YouTube videos.
This is so. Well, I did one Go 90. Like Mariah Carey did a sketch special with Go 90, and I was in a sketch with Mariah fucking Carey, and I want that.
Yeah.
And it's off, and it was off. Like they put it up around Christmas in December, and I think it was gone like right after the New Year. And I would always be emailing them like, "Hey, can I get that?" Like, not every day you're in a. I don't want it to like show to people. I just want it for myself to be like, remember when I was in a sketch with fucking Mariah?
Yeah, that's a good thing for your reel. I would I would lead with that.
I mean, it's wild, but it's just gone. You were in that whole you were in a fucking television series.
Yeah,
for Go 90. It's just gone.
Came and went.
Yeah.
Hey, Go 90, we love you.
Yo, Go 90, I just want to say one love, peace and love forever. Send me a Christmas card. I'm going to be here, hustling, doing my thing. Bad boy for life, dirty.
I played a Southern karate guy on a show on Go 90.
Wow. Like, because they had, I was in that thing that you were in. That's why I knew you were in it. I forgot I was in it.
I didn't know it was gone.
Yeah, everything's gone.
Yeah.
But that's okay. What are we gonna do?
It's like theater in a way. You know, you had to be there. You had to see it.
That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna start doing TV shows theatrically. Everyone, shut the fuck up. This is the wildest. You know what? You know what's sad? I keep on noticing that you keep on taking us back to the topic.
Do I?
You are the one leading the conversation. And that's so sad. That's so pathetic.
Well, this is a dramatic podcast.
Yeah, this is supposed to be. We're supposed to evoke emotion in our listeners.
Yeah,
and not stupid emotion, not funny, scared.
Yeah, this is a horror. Yes.
When we scream, we're scared.
When did you? What? Shut up! I'm trying.
No, seriously, shut up, Aaron.
Aaron, shut the fuck up and let me run my shit.
Fuck up.
Right? This is welcome to my house, Patrick's apartment. This is my house, Patrick's.
Wow.
When did you kind of realize that like things weren't like? Were you auditioning?
Yeah. So and I was kind of lazy about it because I lived like way far out in Brooklyn. I lived off the Church Avenue 2 stop, which is like almost the end of the line. So it took, like an hour to get into Midtown. And then I didn't know shit. So I would go, I didn't know how to, and they were all open calls because I didn't have any representation. So you just go to these big mass sort of calls.
What is that like emotionally?
It's not even like, it wasn't emotionally draining. It was just like, oh, I just wasted a whole day because, I go in there, I wouldn't do that good of a job because I still don't think I'm that good at auditioning. And certainly then I was terrible at it. So just like go in there, you'd have to wait many, many hours and then kind of do a pretty forgettable bad job and then be like, well, I guess I'm going home. So
how many people are in line?
It depends. So what I think I've told the story a lot, but the one when I was like, okay, fuck this, I'm over it, was I waited 8 hours to go to Godspell because there was a big revival of Godspell. So that is,
I saw that.
Oh, right, at Circle in the Squares.
Yeah,
the director of that.
One of the guys in it.
Oh, really?
And I saw his dick in the show.
So Stromboli? Oh, Brajol.
Yeah, Brajol. Stromboli, come on. Don't be ridiculous.
You're embarrassing
yourself. Don't fucking offend me, dude. You sound stupid right now.
Don't be ridiculous. It's
Call
not
your dick a Brajol.
Come on, dude.
The guy who directed that directed The Ride.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
He loves interaction.
Yes.
So you waited 8 hours?
Waited 8 hours and then just sang the tiniest little bit of a song and they're like, thanks. And I was like, this sucks. But that one had a huge line, obviously, because it's a very young cast.
Yeah.
So a lot of, like, oh, everybody could be any part. It's just, it's all that. So that one that's why you waited 8 hours. But then some,
you were done? That was the one you were like, I can't do this.
Yeah, just 8 hours. 8 hours to sing. And I was like, this sucks. And then it's just like this sucks.
How long had you been going at it before that?
Only like I probably quit after about a year. But at the very beginning in New York, I wasn't going on any. Maybe I would go on one audition the first like 4 months I moved here because I couldn't find a job. So you're trying to find. I was just like freaking out and like learning how to be an adult sort of, and I had didn't know how to do that at all.
Yeah, like shopping for food.
Yeah, exactly. Like being like, oh, I do have to pay my rent, and and I don't have a job. And
what was your job at this time?
So I worked at L'Occitane in Provence, that like lotion store. Have you ever seen it? Lotion and soap store. It's a big chain.
I've never seen it.
L'Occitane. People think it's called L'Occitane or L'Occitane.
Oh, yes, I've seen L'Occitane.
I fucking love L'Occitane.
What did you say that to start with? Phenomenal. I got a gift card. I got 20% off
You
on my
throw some of that stuff on your fucking braciole and you're fucking in business.
So they got
You smell like Verbena.
No, I know. I seen that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you worked.
That's where I worked. And I just needed a job so badly because I'd never worked retail. I'd worked in restaurants a lot and then did after that. But I just was like, I mean, fuck, I need a job. Mm-hmm. So they hired me for holiday help and then I stuck around.
Nice. Nice. That's a big
fucking lotion on the holidays, man. That shit fucking goes.
It's a gift.
Are you kidding me? My gift to my aunts and always my cousins is a couple soaps.
Yeah,
I get them like.
I think soap's
bullshit.
a good gift.
I think it is too, and they go, "Oh, I wonder what this is," because they know every year I get them the stupid fucking soaps. Right? They go, "Oh,
what is so stupid about? What's stupid about the soaps?
They all have stinky flavors." All the flavors.
Pork chop.
I guess enough flavors. I guess food is flavors. I guess they would be scents. They all got
Yeah.
The scents are absurd.
Yeah.
Absurd.
Stinky flavors.
I go, enjoy your stinky flavored soap.
You should open a soap shop called Stinky Flavors.
Yeah, I should. Yeah.
Sticky Flavors.
I just don't have good credit. That's the problem.
Yeah, you gotta have credit.
That's the problem.
True.
Or else I'd be there. And so,
A lot of little storefronts in town.
Oh my God, I'd open up so many stores if I had good.
I have so many good ideas. The only thing that's holding me back is my fucking credit score. If not, I'd be an entrepreneur. I'd be on Shark Tank.
I'd be Trump.
Yeah, I would be Trump. I'd be president, and I'd be able to do whatever I wanted, and people would say bad things about me, and I wouldn't feel bad about them all day long.
If only my credit.
If I had a decent credit score, I would love it.
Yeah,
I would love it.
I'd
fucking love it.
king of the assholes. That'd be phenomenal. Instead, I'm just an asshole that's dying.
When you got fed up, were you doing UCB stuff yet, or not, or comedy stuff?
No. And what was so weird is I knew I wanted to do UCB when I moved to town. I knew I wanted to do improv. I just took a while. It's hard to move.
Yeah.
To the big city.
Had you seen shows or?
Yeah. So I used to weirdly watch the sketch show. I say weirdly, even though but a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
I watched it because I watched that and Strangers with Candy, and they were on back to back. And then my sister lived in New York, and so when I would come visit her, sometimes she would take me to UCB.
Do you remember the shows?
Yeah, I saw. I think it's called Instant Cinema, but the one with Zach Woods and Sylvia and Tamanik and that movie group. I remember that one. And then also I saw. I think it was Real World, and that was terrible. But a lot of good people were in it.
Sure.
But I was like, this sucks. And then Instant Cinema was on after. I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
But that's fun. That
almost probably helps you to do it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost good to see a great version and a shitty version of what you want to do.
And I'm sure Real World was great a lot of times. If any of those people are listening.
I remember seeing Reuben Williams tank on Cage Match right before my audition.
It helped me
so much.
It
I was
is
like,
great
they
to
can
see bad people.
Yes.
I mean, good people do badly.
Yeah, and they were.
I'm always hoping all my favorites tank. I need to get.
Oh boy, Anthony King really shit the bed in this
sucks.
Cage Match.
I saw on the streets the other day because he wrote the book for Beetlejuice that's going to open on Broadway.
Holy shit,
wow.
that's
Or
amazing.
co-wrote it or something, so he's in town.
Yeah, you should have seen him at this Cage Match.
That guy's never going to write a musical. Never!
So after that audition, come on, focus up.
I'm focused. Lasered.
After that audition, did you go home and were you like, I'm done? This is it?
Yeah, I think. I just, and it was to the whole time I was there. I had wanted that for so long. Wanted to be on Broadway, and not just this audition, but until I'm in New York. And then I would see the plays, and I like some of them I loved, but a lot of them I was like Shrek was on. I was like, I don't want to be in Shrek.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I don't want to do this. Or Phantom of the Opera. I was like, I'll never be in the what. And then so it's sort of like, what am I fucking doing?
What would have been the the role that you wanted the most?
The one that, and I don't even think I'm good for this play, but Spring Awakening was on Broadway at that time, and I was the age of everybody in it. And also I had friends that kept getting in it. So I would like go see it and then hang out with them after, and everyone that was in it. And my friends were very good, but I was like, I'm as good as them. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was like, I'm on their level. They're not like way better than me.
Did they have representation, or were they on open calls?
They everyone almost got that from an open call because they were casting so young that a lot of people didn't have representation.
Hard feeling to be like, I'm as good as
them.
And
I am not jealous of other people's success. I was happy for them, but that was just strange to when you see them getting it and you know you're as good as them. You're like, oh, so I could be getting it, and then realizing that like you maybe won't. It's like, that sucks.
Yeah, you're as good as, and just name their names right now.
Leah Michelle. No, I was not friends with her.
Yes,
that's what we want.
Glee for life. I'm a Gleek.
Gleek head. But and you just
that reminds me of seeing Anthony King on that fucking page.
I'm as good as him. But I think people have that feeling at UCB or something where you're auditioning and your peers are getting on and you're not, and you're like, I'm as good as it. Not that you're better, but you're like, I'm as good as them. We're peers.
Yeah.
So that's all I meant. Not that I was like, I'm fucking better, but it's just like those are my actual peers that I was in plays with and held my own against. Like we're.
And did that give you hope, or did that make you feel like
a little bit of both? But I think it was a good lesson to sort of learn young. Because not that those people were all very level-headed and were never like cocky or arrogant, but I could see how you could get cocky or arrogant if you get cast immediately out of college in a Broadway show. You're like, I'm better than everyone. But to learn like, oh, that like they're not better, and people that aren't working are not worse than you if you are working. Right. It doesn't mean they don't have the talent. It's just they don't have the job.
Yep.
Oh. That's like a good thing to learn.
Yeah, and so that was truly maybe my first real lesson of the business. Is that?
Yeah,
but you just walked away. You were like, I'm not going to do the open calls.
I think, I just got frustrated with the auditioning process, and I didn't have an agent, and I'm still am bad about like the hard business side of things, and so I didn't know I didn't know how to do it, and I didn't know how to be fulfilled. I didn't want to do just like a cabaret. Yeah. That was not. I didn't want to do. So I didn't have an outlet to perform.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work for me. But then also knew I didn't want to do anything else. But kind of
perform.
like but perform.
It's so hard to be a performer and to not be able to perform.
I know,
it's brutal.
And we are all lucky in the comedy world. It's a lot of self-starting, and I think that's when you're doing more just proper acting there starts, and that sucks. You're truly waiting for somebody to call you and say, do you want to do this?
Yeah. Did you feel like things were out of your control?
I think
I'm going to boost the audio.
No, yes and no. Yeah, I mean, it was hard, but it was also just adjusting to adulthood. It was just like a weird time. So there were a lot of things and I was like, I knew I was young and I knew I had time to figure shit out. So I wasn't panicked, but it was one of those like weird quarter life crisis, when you're 25, which is like, I mean, please give me a fucking break. But that is a big shift in life from basically childhood to being like, okay, now figure it out.
And did you think maybe I'll come back to this?
Yeah.
Or do you still think that? Like, do you want to go back?
Well, now, and you know what? I'm going to say no. I was like, I'm fully done. Once I discovered comedy and fell in love with comedy, I was like, I'm done with theater. Like, I don't want to do that. I was just sort of over it, and it was like, it's not for me. And then now I am more like, that would be so fun to be in a play.
Yeah,
totally.
Not like I don't want to be in the 12th replacement cast of whatever, and like do 8 shows. Like I would love to do.
You don't want to be Patrick on
like
SpongeBob,
which closed.
Oh, did it? Mm-hmm. Wow, didn't it do good in the Tonys?
Yeah, I thought it was good.
I think it was. I saw it; it was good. But I think the problem was that it was in a really huge theater. And I think like you got to fill a lot of seats.
Yeah, and who knew that people that like television can't afford to go to Broadway shows constantly? Who knew that they can't afford $200 to take their kids to see a cartoon character sing?
Exactly.
People knew.
You can watch this at home.
Yeah. I'm gonna take my daughter to go see fucking the cartoons right in front of her face. Spend $1,000 for her to forget about this in 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course it closed.
Do you have a daughter, Sebastian?
She's beautiful.
Yeah, she's phenomenal. She's the light of my life. She's at home babysitting herself right now.
She's so talented at it.
She's so good. She's so good. She helps me with my issues.
Really lean on her.
She's my emotional rock. I come home and I sob, and she rubs my back and she says, "It's gonna be okay." Man, what do you do?
Daddy.
I make dinner for us, so forget about that.
Or call dinner in.
Yeah, I call dinner. She hates Thai food, but we get that often.
Because I love this stuff. She's great with chopsticks.
She's great with them. I'm bad, so she does mine and feeds me.
She loves it.
Yeah, I got a 3-year-old daughter that feeds me as I cry at home.
That's what we're getting to.
Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Yeah, I get that.
It's scary to be an adult, huh?
Yeah, now it is still scary, but you realize like, oh, that's just what it is. But it was scary being a kid too because you didn't know anything.
Do you think you're an adult now?
I think I am. What do you think qualifies an adult?
I don't know.
I feel like in when you're a creative, it feels like
I know you're never.
It feels like you're never.
And you'll be like, oh, I have a job like right now. This is it. But then it's like in 2 months you don't have a job, and then you're like, okay, now what?
Yeah, like that pursuit never ends, and it doesn't feel like you have the stability of a quote unquote adult.
Right.
Yeah,
maybe. But no, that's not true. But it was like paying rent. Maybe when you start to like when you pay for everything.
Yeah.
Maybe that feels very adulting, but maybe not. Maybe because I bet like lots of people get like left a house or
Sure.
they're fully adults.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these people are getting big checks from their grandparents, and and they call themselves adults.
They're just babies, little babies.
It's like, did you think when you moved from theater to comedy, were you?
Sebastian is so somber asking
He really is.
Because these are hard questions for me. The adult question is very hard for me because I don't know. I'm 29 and I shouldn't be still confused. I shouldn't not be like I'm not an adult.
Yeah, no, I'm in my 30s. I'm 33, and I don't. It's like,
and I'm like, I question. I go, what am I? I don't know if I'm an adult. I can't. I'm a man, yes, but I struggle being that. And you know what? Yeah, laugh at my sadness. You fucking monsters.
So that's why the questions are coming in so somber.
That's why they're coming in somber. Well, I can't detach my emotions. What do you want me to not bring my life in the room?
No, I want.
Aaron, what do you want to do?
Bring your life in.
So what did you do after that? Like in terms of like you wanted to. I
have a question.
Yeah.
Most disorganized
I was just asking a question.
Most disorganized podcast you've ever been on.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's the question?
What's your question, Aaron?
No, I don't have a question. It was a bit.
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
What did you did you find any opportunities to perform after that?
That's when I got in. Like that's when I got into comedy. Kind of was right after that.
And did you started taking classes at UCB, or were you doing any other things?
No, that was it. That was my. And I think well, this is just my experience, but I think UCB, it does help like a theater kid. I think improv is closer to theater than it is to maybe stand up.
Yeah.
Right.
And then through improv got into, or sketch, I guess, is obviously the closest. But then improv and then stand up is its own beast. And I had no interest in doing stand. Now I do it, but I didn't have any interest, or I didn't know how. I wouldn't even have known how to do a stand up show.
Yeah.
When you were in like 101, was it locked in then? You were like, okay, I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah, it was. I'd say it was like almost maybe even the first class. It was like very instant.
Wow.
It was like, oh, this is the thing.
Yeah,
because you were just looking for something to feed your like.
Yeah, I wanted to perform. And that was just a very weird time when it had been so theater focused, and then it was like, I'm not going to do this, but what do I do? And I didn't think like move to LA. Like I just didn't I didn't know what to do.
Did you tell your theater friends that you were stopping?
Yeah, and because I moved with a lot of pretty much my whole class, and a lot of my friends knew in school, like, I'm not gonna do this. They're just real, but just graduated and then were figuring it out. And so a lot of people were either leaving it behind but that was really hard when you first moved to this. You know how people still will always be like, so what's going on? And there's like, it's a loaded question and you're like, oh, well, the most amazing opportunity ever. But that was like when we were 22, fresh out of school, that was insane because no one knew. Everyone was just floundering.
Yeah.
So you're like, what did you do? Like,
did someone get representation that was like how many people?
A gal in my class, while we were still in school, The Little Mermaid got on Broadway, and it was between her and the gal that got The Little Mermaid, and then she got in the cast and was the understudy for The Little Mermaid, and then became the replacement. It was Sierra Boggess. When Sierra Boggess left, my friend became Ariel, Chelsea Morgenstock. So like she had fully representation, was the understudy for the lead on Broadway, and this was like whatever. We graduated in May, and this was in like March she figured this out. So like it was that was like, oh, and that's another thing, like I don't do what she did, but I was like, oh, this is my peer, like we did scenes together, like we're of a similar quality. Right. I mean, she is an incredible dancer and like an amazing singer, but still, it was like we could be in scenes together and you would believe it. And it was like, and she's the lead in a Broadway show.
That's got
and then Friends were getting Spring Awakening at around that same time because that's when that was opening or whatever.
How long? So you said people were also leaving around the same time. Like how long were people giving it a shot?
I think and I still have tons of friends from school who are fully in the scene, the Broadway scene, and perform on Broadway or act, professionally and are in the scene. So a lot of people, I think people that already had doubts, like I don't really want to do this, they were a little bit more vocal because they knew they didn't want to do it, and then the people that were slowly figuring out was harder to say. It was like more like I'm giving up, which is not true. You're just like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Giving up
a little bit, but I knew I still had to perform. I truly don't have any other skills or interests other than like entertainment. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you think about people that don't know what they want to do at all, and that's hard.
Yeah. And so you go, oh, great, here's an outlet. Now I could at least perform.
Right.
You weren't even looking for success.
Yeah, I mean, of course I was, but when I got at UCB, I wasn't like, I'm going to be a famous comedian. That's not what I wanted. I just was like, I just have to fucking get up there.
What year did you start?
What year did I start UCB? I think I started taking classes I moved here in 2007, so in late 2008.
Okay.
So I'd lived here like a little over a year before I lived in New York. That's where we are.
Yes,
for all the listeners.
The Big Apple.
I think you got on Herald Night right out of 401. Is that right? Because I think I was in your first advanced study class.
You were in my second advanced study. I was in an advanced study. I was in an Anthony King, who was the artistic director at the time.
How was it?
It was rough.
Mine was so rough.
And it was during Herald audition. So it was like they added, you knew he was going to be casting at the Herald teams during the time of our class.
Yeah.
And he was the one making the decision. So it was, I mean, I think they're always rough classes, but I think maybe that one was particularly rough.
Sure. Yeah. He in session 7 of mine, he called somebody by the wrong name, and you could tell it just broke.
Yeah. You're like, well, I don't have a shot here. He doesn't know who I am. And ours was weirdly, there was a popular thing for a moment in time where there would be like 12-week classes. So ours was 12 fucking weeks, which is way too long. Like brutal. So long. And it was whatever day it was on, like a Wednesday or whatever, fell on a lot of holidays. So it ended up being like almost 16 actual weeks. It was like 50, just like it. So I mean, this was winter. We were in this class from like fucking like January until April. We were all like in this fucking class together. I don't
know what the energy was about his classes in particular, but it felt like he was such an elusive figure that like when you got him in the room, it felt like everybody wanted to audition all the time.
And he was tough. He's not an easy laugher, and his notes are hard. And sometimes like really hard. Like after one of the shows, he was like, what the fuck were you all doing? And he'd be like, I'll beat one, yada, yada, yada. Oh, this group game. What the fuck were you all doing out there? What the fuck was that? And you're like, oh, fuck? Like, I don't know. We were being seagulls, you know. So it's like it was so like it was
also such a funny question to take it so seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're being so stupid.
Yeah, exactly. And he would just get mad when you were like, and we were probably, I don't even remember. I just remember the note, but we were just like selling it out. I'm sure. And he was like, "What are you fucking like? It's never going to be good if you're doing that."
Right.
I think what he's trying to get across, but it's like, whoa,
it's hard because then it's hard to come back from. The energy is like kind of fucked.
But yeah.
Like, I remember one time I came out. It was like early in his class. I walked out as like an old man. It was essentially like a caricature, but like it got a laugh. And I think like people did not laugh in that class. And like he was just like he like stopped me and was like, absolutely not.
Wow.
Nope. Leave now. Go back to the back line.
That's where he sat. Oh, gee, I never even met him. Maybe I did.
He's the funny thing. He's so nice,
and he's brilliant.
Yeah. And in real life, he's just so. But I think it was just he was running the theater. That's how he ran it.
Yeah, I mean, when he was at Herald Night, you could tell. Like I was a student, awful. I would watch Herald Night, and like I would be like, "What the hell's going on?" Like, and then you'd be like, "Oh, Anthony King's here," because people were terrified of like doing a bad show. Yeah.
He came to see in LA when we did Fucking Identical Twins there. He came to see it, and I didn't know he was in the audience, but I heard him laugh, and it was like a wave of like, oh my god, daddy, daddy, and then he I'll hear a laugh that sounds like his, and there's such a visceral reaction of like, oh good, and then you're like, that's not Anthony. You gotta get over it, babe.
It's so amazing how important those people are, though, when you're first coming up. Because you really want it.
Well, they give you a chance.
Yeah,
they're the one.
How dope is that he got in right after 401?
Right after first audition?
Dope, yeah, first audition.
Well, because you were already such a good performer.
I think I had a lot of stage experience, which a lot of people coming to UCB don't have. They haven't been on stage a lot, and I've been on stage a ton of times, so I think I had.
Yeah,
but you had been, so you came in and knew how to be on stage.
Yeah, I don't tell people that because I want them to think I'm just a fuck up.
A savant. How does he do it?
Yeah, I want people. I mean, it's not like I got good stagecraft.
Well, yeah, me neither. But you just know. You know how to stand on a stage.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's what's so shocking. When I was teaching, people will stand with their backs to you and whisper, and you're like, if you think like this is not gonna play, like, you gotta learn how to face forward and bark. Park and bark.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta learn how to face forward.
That was a hard lesson for a lot of people.
It really is. Yeah. So I think I had that confidence, and I had been. I mean, those auditions are the worst. Improv auditions are truly the worst because
they're scary.
Yeah, you don't know what you're gonna say, and it might be not funny, and it's not your fault. But but I had also auditioned for a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And so I think I was in the audition, and I think a lot of people that's their first ever truly audition. I mean, they've done, you have to do embarrassing things in school, like read your report in front of the class or whatever, but it's different than like stand up, here's a headshot, here's an audition.
Yeah. A lot of people in that first round are just acting like they're reading a report out there. You know what I mean?
I know. That was me. I couldn't shut up about
Hello.
I wish I could re-audition because I would fuck with them.
I
would take a piece of paper out and I would be like, thank you very much, and like put it back in my pocket like I'm reading lines. I mean, honestly,
because you're that confident. I'm gonna fucking get on this.
I'm gonna get on. You gotta have me. You need me.
They need me.
How did you guys feel after your second round auditions?
The callback?
Yeah, the callback.
I thought I didn't get it because I hardly spoke in mine because it was a bunch of loudmouths.
Yeah.
But I think I got on because Anthony King liked me because I was in that class.
Yeah.
Wow.
I felt good after the first one. I was like, if I think I'll get a callback. Mm-hmm. And then I did. And then after the callback, I was like, I don't think I got on.
I had the exact opposite. Like when I auditioned, I was like, I'm not going to get a callback. And then when I went and did the Herald, it was truly the best audition I've ever had. Like, and I had like a couple people in there. Yeah.
With Anthony King you were with?
Yeah.
Wow. I got on with
Nathaniel Dern.
Yeah. And I killed my audition.
That's great.
I did great.
Yeah.
And I knew I got on.
Yeah. I remember seeing you on Sandino, and like I never saw you like in the indie scene, but I remember just being like just blown away by how good you were.
Dang.
For having been someone who like I was like didn't know, never saw.
I was crushing it with Boy Butter, crushing it
That's
with
right. You were on Boy Butter.
Swoon.
What came first, the product Boy Butter or the improv team?
We named the team Boy Butter, and then Boy Butter the Lube reached out to us because we would tweet or whatever about it and gave us lube. And we would they gave like little ketchup packets of lube, and we would throw them out at shows. And then they had, then they gave us a couple of like, I want to say like couple ounce size, like little canisters.
Yeah.
And whoever gave the suggestion, we would give them the canister and we'd all autographed it.
Imagine using that lube and be like,
Yeah, they're like, who's this? Don't worry about it, baby. This is going to be great. Yeah, so I think they came about around the same time, but we didn't name ourselves after the lube.
sure.
But the lube was pretty new that they were reaching out to an improv team named Boy Butter. Do you want a bunch
They're
of
like,
lube?
oh Jesus, I don't know.
Anything.
We're tanking here.
Yeah.
To
Anything.
start a lube company must be hard.
Yeah, you got to get in the scene. They're still around though. I'm proud of them.
Good. You both grew. You both went on to do amazing things.
Amazing thing.
That's phenomenal. So at what point at UCB were you like, oh, I feel like I made the right choice?
I knew like from the very beginning, even in
Sure.
classes, knew I really loved it. And then when I felt like good at UCB was probably like after a year on Herald Night is when I felt like,
Yeah.
because I got on pretty fast and did feel a little intimidated just because I didn't have the improv stage time that a lot of people did. But then after like a year on Herald Night, I was like, oh, I'm good at this and I like being here. And this is.
It took me a while on Herald Night to just get comfortable.
Yeah.
I was super uncomfortable.
And back then, there was no UCB East, so Herald Night was it, and there were only 3 weekend teams, and you were never going to get on them,
Right.
Because it was just a different. Now there's like 25, and everyone moves to LA every day, so it's like you can always get on a weekend. But then like you'll never get on a weekend team. There is nothing else. There is only this theater, so it was not that it was a bigger deal, but it was more centralized. The whole community was there.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
To see, and like even the people now, I don't know everyone that's on even Herald Night, let alone Lloyd Night.
Yeah.
But like then they maybe didn't. The biggest people still like sort of knew who you were, even if they didn't know your name. There's like, oh, you're on Herald Night. I've seen you around,
Yes.
just because.
People would go to Herald Night.
Yeah, and even if they didn't, there just weren't that many people on teams
right,
they're
because
just
a training center, you would see people.
Right.
You kind of knew everybody.
like, oh, they're on a team.
Yeah.
I don't know their name, but that's how.
Yeah, the weekend teams also were unattainable because they were just like so stacked.
Yeah, they were. I mean, yeah, yes,
There
exactly.
was nowhere to go. at
You
that
just
time.
you weren't gonna
Yeah.
get on.
Yeah.
You weren't going to get on. And there were people on Herald Night that have been like, I've been on Herald Night for 45 years. and like, for them, all the same thing. We were talking about, your peers are at the top. They were all, it was like, those are all the people I was on Herald teams with. So it's like, they're going to be the one that, Jim Santangelo was on Herald Night.
Wow.
Oh, yeah,
when I
that's
was on
crazy.
Herald Night.
Yeah.
That's wild.
DeCoster.
DaCosta.
He did a Grease group game once that was probably the funniest thing I've
still
ever
remember
seen.
that.
It was the funniest thing I've ever seen, and
Really?
it was just him saying "Go Grease Lightning." You're coming up a quarter mile, I think.
Yeah.
And he just kept saying that, but he sang the whole song.
I get it that.
He's so funny.
He's
It
an
was
idiot.
fucking unreal. So what changed in terms of like your day to day, like between like when you first moved to the city, and you wanted to pursue Broadway versus
Right. I think I totally just blacked out. I think a lot of it was like I'm talking about, I also just didn't know how to be an adult at all. So like then I ended up getting a job at a restaurant, and then I was in UCB. So it's like I had a little stability. Like I had some money coming in, just some, excuse me, because I quit the lotion store and then babysat for a while. And then they didn't need me to babysit anymore, but then they're the ones who got me the restaurant job. And so it was like and then it's like, oh, okay, I have a job. I have like a UCB, I have a thing that I like.
Yeah.
Because I was just sort of floundering, and I'd never, I guess just because I always knew I liked doing plays, I'd never really felt, of course, everybody feels out of place, but I always felt like I was in the right place at the right time. And then when I moved to New York, I was like, I'm not in the right place, right time. Something's wrong. You know, I'm not. And so it's just like, I don't have a job. I don't like doing this performing, and this is not what I want to do. Like, oh no.
It felt off until this.
Yeah. The and then it was like, oh, now it feels right place, right time again. But you know, and I think that's hard. That's a hard feeling, and I feel bad for like kids that feel that way, because then you're a kid and you can't really articulate it.
Yeah.
If you don't even know.
Yeah, you're like, what? I guess I'm wrong. And it's like, no, you just have to move.
Yeah.
you just need to move and find your hobby you like, but you just haven't done it yet because you're a kid.
That's awesome.
But that's hard.
Can I tell you what? I interned when you were on your like cage match.
Right. I forgot you interned.
Yeah.
Speaking of cage match, I mean, nobody has won cage match more than Aaron.
That's true.
Probably.
No, Charlie Todd told me.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, because you're built for that shit.
Screaming.
You are made for that shit. But I was there.
I tried to do it. I got out there and screamed, but I was so scared.
He's scared. He's stupid.
I initiated the scene, screamed, and ran off stage.
You know what's so funny? Probably you're the scared one, I'm the stupid one, and you're the funny one when you're screaming.
When you're screaming.
I love how I just said you. That's perfect for a podcast. you, boobadoo. No, but I watch you every week, and man, you were so fucking funny.
So nice.
And it was so fun to see. Because you see, so many people get caught up in like how to do it.
Yeah.
And you were not that.
Never.
That's I guess from any institution, I'm really only familiar with UCB. But it's when people get caught up in it, it's like, that's not gonna.
And that's such a good example of what people should be striving for.
Yes.
Right? Because I'm a little freak and a half, right? I don't fit into the fucking, yeah. And so it's like, even though I'm not like you at all, like it's nice to see people that are like outside of what you expect.
Right, the typical mold of.
Yeah. And I think the theater hopefully will be filled with more of those people because that's what the industry probably wants.
Well, and that's what you like, because I taught forever.
Yeah.
And I just tell them that the rules teach you to be sort of consistently competent at improv, and then you have to bring your point of view.
Yeah.
Because like we don't need you to just like pick apart what what do you now
intellectualize everything or whatever.
But you
It's
can
a
now
show.
be in a successful scene. But yeah, exactly. It's a fucking show. Put on a goddamn show.
In 301, I was playing from my gut, having a great time.
Yeah.
And then it literally took me like 4 years to get back to that point.
That's hard. That is when the 401 is when everybody starts. Because I think that's when it's like, are you going to get past into the advanced?
Yes.
So you just instantly, now you're in your head. It's
Am I
not
doing it right?
Right. Am I doing it right?
Yeah.
And you were such a good example for people.
Well, that's very nice to see.
Yeah, please. I loved it. I would laugh my ass off. I would be high as balls interning. The first day I interned, I ate a bunch of weed and I broke a fucking light in the back of UCB Chelsea.
And they're like, this kid's going places.
I was holding a mop and I was holding it too hard in the ceiling.
Who was your
Chuck.
boss, Chuck? And that's not a warm man.
No, that was not. No, but you know he warmed up as a secretly. He does it very secretly. He'll like offer you a slice of pizza, and that's how you know he loves you.
Once he would sort of like flick his chin at me and that sort of like greeting, I was like, oh, I think he likes me. And that was like 7 years.
Yeah,
I know.
Like, he will acknowledge I'm in a room.
Oh my god.
We did like a classic rock group game, and like after that, he liked me.
I love that.
It was such a treat to get to see you all the time on that night. And I remember my first Torco show was one with you.
Was that true? Was that your first one? Oh, wow.
It was when Torco was different.
Yes, the olden days.
Yes, not better.
Just different. It was a different time. Come on.
And I remember being so...
Come on.
Right now, it's phenomenal. But then it was fine. It was only fine. I was still on Lloyd Night and I was scared shitless.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because I think no one else on Lloyd Night was doing Torco.
Yeah.
But Nate like asked me to do a show, like put me on the list, and I was fucking freaking out.
Yeah.
And it was like you, Laura Wilcox, and who else?
Wow. Oh my god.
I forget, but all you guys knew each other so well.
Yeah. Turco.
Yes.
Yeah.
You really-
And I was a little boy in the back. So nervous.
my little underwear.
And I sat there trying not to piss myself the whole time because I had to pee, but I didn't want to tell nobody.
Trying not to break a fucking light bulb.
Just flinging my mop around.
And you sang Broadway the whole way there.
Oh, I remember that car ride because Laura really likes Broadway too.
Yes.
And maybe it was Langan.
Yes, it was Langan.
And she can get into it.
You guys were freaks.
Because usually on those car rides, truly, it was like, you're never going to put on a...
No.
Brandon Scott Jones and I talk about a tour we were on. Brandon Scott Jones is another gay comedian. And one time we sat in the back seat and talked about Liza Minnelli.
Oh my God.
For the entire car ride. And we still talk about... I can't even remember who was driving and they must have been just like, what the fuck? And we were
quiet the whole time.
Because we were so loud.
It was Dan Black.
Oh no, he's never quiet. One time on a tour with Dan Black, Dan Black loves Magic the Gathering, the card game, which is very he doesn't, and so I had never played it. It was me, Dan, and Zach Willis. Zach Willis also likes Magic the Gathering, and I was like, I'll learn to play, like fun. They had their cards. Sure. So Dan got out fast and then stood over my shoulder to help me play because I didn't know the rules and told me every move to make. He's like, oh fuck bro, this is sick. This is sick. And oh fuck yes, okay, you're gonna want to play that. I have no idea how to play the game and I won. And Zach the whole time kept being like, we can quit, it's obvious he's gonna win. He's like, no, I want him to see how to learn. I want him to learn how to play. And we went through the whole fucking game.
You still don't know how to play.
Not a clue. Like, wouldn't even know what. I had not a clue because he made every move.
On a tour with Dan one time, we went, like, he and I don't know how it was just us, but we wound up, like, going out together and going, like, getting on go-karts.
Oh, my God.
We went go-karting. And then the drive back to the city, he was just talking about female comedians in a way that frustrated Karen Hammerberg more than anything.
That sounds like a tour co.
It was pretty fantastic.
But wait, so did you have a good time at the show? The
yes,
tour co show?
The show was, looking back, it was like,
I don't even remember.
It was a fine show. It was weird. We were in like a live, we were on like a raised platform that they put up. But I did have fun. And I remember that being one of the moments I was so excited about because I got to see you guys perform.
Yeah.
So much, and it just meant so much that I was getting the chance to perform with you.
That's so sweet.
It was really nice, and then we went out, and you guys were so nice to me, obviously. And the whole way,
but at the time,
you just like scared. You're like, I hope they're nice. I hope they talk to me. I hope they don't leave me out or like bums that I'm coming.
Right. My first tour co was with Shannon O'Neill, Gavin Spieler, and Ben Rogers. And they, it was like. Maybe around Hurricane Irene. Is that the one that was before Sandy that was bad but not as bad as Sandy?
Yeah, sure.
Whatever the one that was like, it was supposed to be terrible.
I don't learn the names.
I don't learn the names. That's not for me. For me, they're all big wind.
Yeah. Why we give wind names? Come on. Well, they fucking think they're
big wind coming. Watch out.
Yeah, why can't they just go, another hurricane happened? It was 2012. 2012 hurricane.
But so they were all like, because they'd been on tour co for a million years. Yeah. And they were all like, I hope this gets canceled. And that, like, because you still get paid. Yes. And they're like, I hope it gets canceled and we could just like hang out. And I was like, all I want to do is do this show. And it didn't get canceled, but I remember just like, we're in such a different, this is my first one. I am ecstatic. I'm so scared to be around you people. And they were like, I hope it gets and they were so nice. And like and they were so, and it was a great show. And it was so fun. But I just remember, and I mean, that is totally how I was probably like half a year later, but certainly like 4 years later when I was still doing it, I was like, please cancel this fucking show.
Hurricane.
Yeah. Bring it on. Pay me my $100.
Sebastian, were you hesitant in that show? Because you both strike me as people who would, like, I was very intimidated by a lot of people when I would get on stage and perform with them. But you guys both strike me as people who were be pretty bold in that situation.
In tour co, it's hard. There's only 4 of you.
You can't really be hesitant.
You definitely, obviously, it's improv, so sometimes you're taking a smaller part. I answered for you, but
no, please. But it's exactly what I was
you can't really. You don't really have the luxury of 2 people have been in 3 people have been in 3 scenes in a row and you haven't, it's like, I have to be in a scene.
Sure.
Because the
Yeah.
audience is going to start being like, who is that guy?
It's also, yeah. Who's that huge guy sweating, sweating in the back, staring at everyone?
Yeah.
My first tour call, I didn't go out.
It was awesome. I edited every scene.
Clean edit.
I had a weird hat on, and I just didn't go out.
Weird hat.
No, I think it was fine. I think, you know what? A 90-minute show, you're going to be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll have a chance.
You'll get warm.
There'll be one moment you go, I was good then.
Yeah.
A 20-minute show, I might not be funny.
Right. You might not have the time.
I might not have the time.
Might not have time to-
It takes me about an hour to warm up. Usually I get 10 minutes.
The last 30 minutes, you were fucking crushed.
Oh, dude. I literally, they blacked out. I said, why? We just began.
You want more.
Yeah. But I'm so happy I got to tell you that because...
That's really nice. Listen,
I don't know.
I think you're so funny, so that is
Thanks.
nice to hear from
Yeah.
a funny person.
Thanks, yeah. So,
And you went on a cage match.
yeah.
Enemy, right?
Yeah, we won cage match.
You won the whole dang.
We won
the whole
thing.
dang show.
And you won the whole thing too before, right?
I won the whole thing
With
before.
multiple teams, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've won
twice.
with Fuck That Shit and What I Did for Love.
Rumble
Yeah.
teaser too, though, right?
No, we
No, you
get
lost.
to the finals more than once and lose.
Wait, did you
lost
women and men?
Lost to Fuck That Shit once and lost to
What I did for love.
What I Did for Love, which I used to be on, but I was not on when they won.
Wow.
But that was fun.
Wait, you weren't on it?
No, because I stepped
Oh, you
down,
stepped down.
like
Sure.
and so I was on the first time What I Did for Love won, and then they just won again. Maybe this last year, maybe
Yeah, I think it was this last year.
2018, whatever they won that, and Rumble Teaser lost. But that was
That's
fun.
crazy that Rumble T. I just feel like that's such a layup.
I feel like they crushed, and I
Yeah.
think we had like a fun show,
Right.
If I remember correctly, it was one of those where it was like, oh, that was fun, but we could lose, and
Yeah.
and they fucking crushed. So it's.
The cast for that is incredible.
It's a great
Is that
cast.
the only improv show you do?
And I do We Will Turn You Gay, which is the theater's gay white men. And then
Phenomenal. Absolutely tremendous.
Brave.
That's, finally.
Finally.
Who am I to fucking be making these comments?
It is true though.
Who am I? I'm the diversity king.
Sebastian, get a black gay guy out there.
Yeah, I'm
We're
in the
sick
back.
of this.
Boo! Not enough. Different types of gay people.
What, a lesbian's not gay anymore? This is fucking misogynist.
This is Brian Foss's nightmare.
Yeah.
That was screaming.
But I do that one the most because that one is just like I feel like we're a plug-in a lot when
Sure.
it's like, Rumble Teaser now has a set.
What's your goal like now, would you say?
Oh my God.
What's your, like
You were on a
perfect
TV
job?
show.
Well, yeah, you
I
were
was on a TV show.
And you were so fucking funny on that
Wow,
show.
thank
really
you.
You
Thank
stood out.
Yeah.
You and Josh stood out so.
That's really nice.
Your
Your
fucking
characters-
clips went.
yeah.
Clips went.
Your clips went. Your clips went, right? And wasn't that beautiful when every time they went? And then the vulture would go, hey, check out this. The vulture.
The vulture.
The vulture would go, hey, look at these. This is a clip. Come on, look at this clip.
Nothing like when your clips went.
Yeah, the vulture and the AVs.
The AV is correct.
The AVs, when they catch a chair and they go, hey, check out this. Look
Look at this clip.
Hey, look.
It went.
Hey, look, they're gay, but they're conservatives.
Can you believe it?
Unbelievable. I used to do copy. If you can't tell, that was who I used to be. I copy editor. You know, I'm big
Who I
into
used
what's
to
the
be.
word? Literature.
Oh, I can tell. I can tell you definitely
yeah.
did copy.
So, but you just killed. the
Yeah.
Oh,
TV
that's
show.
very nice.
Absolutely.
So that was a goal to be on a TV show, and then
Yeah,
I also
Comedy
wanted to be
Central.
on a new show, and so that was
On the
cool.
show.
You
and
know,
it
like-
must have been so great to be with people you love.
yeah, that was so nice. Our boss was Jordan Klepper, who I was on a Herald team with.
Yeah.
so it was
Oh,
that was
Sam and Diane.
Sam and Diane.
Yeah.
Very short-lived team because that was
Salmon
in
spelled like the fish.
and
Yeah.
Diane spelled like the name.
Yes.
But it's a pun on Sam and Diane from Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
And then I never knew for a long time that team went got disbanded, but half the team became Grammar. But they were spelled Grammar like Kelsey Grammer because Kelsey Grammer was a spinoff of Cheers. So they were a spinoff, they thought, of Sam and Diane. So they spelled Grammar not like literary grammar, but like Kelsey Grammer, which I think is...
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's a deep cut pun. You have to be referencing another Herald team pun name.
But it must have been
And
so
nobody
nice.
knew it. They didn't even tell anybody.
No.
I just thought I was spelling grammar wrong the whole time.
Yeah, which is also funny.
Yeah, I go, hey, I learned something today.
But is TV a goal or is film a goal? Or what?
Yeah, I think TV and film, those are definitely goals. I like to write, but yeah, I want to perform. Yeah.
Are you guys still writing a movie?
Yeah, we sold a screenplay
Amazing.
and then we wrote another one and we're gonna go try and sell that
Awesome.
soon.
I'm so excited to see what happens with you.
Yeah.
Something does.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah, the vultures like
The AVs.
clips go. Clips. That's all I keep on hearing. You need clips. You need clips.
Baby, we love you. Where the clips?
Everyone tells me my manager says you need
Yeah,
clips.
they go, enough with the words, Sebastian. We need the clips.
We want the clips,
With the-
babe.
What are you giving them?
I'm writing good emails. I'm sending these tremendous emails.
This email's gorgeous. Throw a clip on it.
Yeah, throw clips. Why aren't they clips on your emails? No, but you got the clips now. You got the clips.
I think I should end every email say enjoy the clip and just attach something. Have the clip.
You're not just gonna get words here. You're gonna get clips.
That'd be great. That'd be like we're talking 2 minutes or something. 2 minutes.
Short.
Of
They're short clips.
Short clips.
Pick the funny part of the clip.
Yeah, cut the clip. Don't do this. Don't do the piece. Do the clip. But seriously, you need that shit. And now you got a bunch.
I got a bunch of clips.
You do. You got the clips now.
I do. I have a bunch of clips.
And so like that's gonna.
So where do you think you're gonna go now that you have the clips?
Like a late night interview, they put the clip on. Throw up the clip.
Oh, run the clip.
Run the clip.
Run the clip.
They don't say run the seed. They say throw up the clip.
Because people just see clips. People don't even see fucking movies no more. They just see the clips.
Is there a clip version?
Yeah, and all a trailer is a bunch of clips that they want to put together.
Now
in
that's
a long,
deep.
Yeah. And let me tell you about Smallfoot.
You gotta check out Smallfoot.
So it's the phenomenal clips throughout. It's gonna sell so well on the internet.
So there are a bunch of clips pieced together in a way that I just love.
It's such a fun way to watch clips.
Aaron, thanks so much for doing this. Man.
Oh wow, thanks for having me.
thank you.
So fun. Do you have anything you want to plug?
I got it. When this is airing
Tomorrow.
Oh Jesus!
So you could do shows.
I have
if
a
you want.
show on November 3rd. Hold on, I'm pulling up the calendar.
Yeah,
This
pull
is
up the calendar. It
so
doesn't matter.
awful. This is awful to pull
Please.
up the calendar. November 1st, day after Halloween,
All Saints Day.
All Saints Day.
And what's the show? We don't just need to.
That's
know
all
that
you
can
know.
do it.
That's all you need to know. I host it with Josh Sharp and Joe Firestone. It's a made-up musical starring the audience. This is what we wrote a musical to the tunes of Rihanna.
Awesome.
So you can get up. It's fun. It's at Cobra Club.
Cobra Club. What time?
I'm gonna say it's at 8:39. I don't know.
Sure.
8:30.
It's a while away. It's a while away.
It's a whole month away.
Yeah, but you can follow you on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Instagram is Garbage Troll.
Yeah,
Garbage Troll.
Yeah.
And follow us at Who You Were Podcast, and we'll have a
Yes.
picture up with Aaron, and maybe it's a before and after pic. Maybe a picture of Sebastian. I don't know.
Thinking.
Yeah, maybe a picture of me.
Maybe a clip of Sebastian.
Yeah, maybe we should put up a couple.
You know,
clips.
let's put up some clips on Instagram. You got the clips now.
I got the clips.
Dude,
to
can we
put up.
use your clips for art?
I give you permission to use
Can we
my
have
clips.
at least one clip?
Can you sign up? Can I put my face on your clips and
Yes.
use the words?
Yes.
And it still be all gay conservatives?
Definitely.
Just with my face. You ever seen Jib Jab?
I've seen Jim.
You ever seen the Jib Jabs?
Great.
Those are fucking good clips.
Now, I'm telling you,
You're gonna jib jab me.
I'm gonna Jib Jab your clips. All right, turn this off. I'm sweating my fucking dick off.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Who You Were. Please subscribe, rate, and review. Guest before and after pics on Instagram at Who You Were Podcast. Send your before and after pics to whoyouwerepodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at Who You Were Podcast. This podcast is produced independently. If you'd like to support it, please visit patreon.com/Patrick Noth. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.